and played in open court a video recording allegedly showing Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, issuing directives to his supporters, which the prosecution claims incited acts of terrorism across the southeast. In the recording, Mr. Kanu said allegedly it is important to protect the lives of IPOB in the southeast. The day's proceeding commenced with the prosecution's second witness, who gave his evidence in chief before the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho. The witness assumed the alias BBB to protect his identity and is a serving DSS officer with at least 20 years service with the agency. Counsel for the prosecution sought to tender before the court a flash drive containing what he described as one of Mr. Kanu's broadcasts and a certificate of compliance, along with a statement written by the accused sometime in 2021. Mr. Kanu objected to the certificate of compliance of the audio and video recording and told the court that he will give reasons as to why he's objecting at a later date. The court now has before it the recording device, a certificate of compliance, even as the defense objected to the admission, as the video was played in open court. Mr. Kanu allegedly was addressing his followers and was audible when he said, quote, his reference to the proposed entity as the blessed land of Biafra. He also announced the formation of the Eastern Security Network, where he urged followers to defend their land against what he referred to as domination by another tribe. Well, let's get more on this. Senior reporter Celestina Area joins me for more on this development. Celestina, a lot has happened, in court between yesterday and today, but bring us up to speed on the day's proceeding.
Okay, well, Precious, the court today took the second witness of the federal government, who is an officer of the DSS and who has over 20 years of service. And he was codenamed Mr. BBB just to protect his identity. As we recall, the court has earlier granted an order that witnesses that will come before the court to testify in this case will be shielded and will be protected. So today he tendered two material evidence, which is a flash drive containing video recording that was made, according to the witness, by Nnamdi Kanu, and also his statement that was taken from Nnamdi Kanu in 2021 when he was brought back to Nigeria from Kenya, and as well as the certificate of compliance. That certificate of compliance is what gives credence to the audio and video recording in terms of how it was gotten and its admissibility. The counsel representing Nnamdi Kanu had objected to this evidences presented before the court, but said that they will give their reason for objection later, so as to not to impede the process of the trial, to allow the trial to go on, but they will give their reasons at a later date. So the court admitted these materials as evidence, and the prosecuting counsel, Adegboyega Awemolo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, asked that the audio and video recording be played in court. It was played in open court through the devices in court, and Precious, I can say, it was very explosive. And from what we could see on the recording and the video that was played in court, there's something in law called res ipsa loquitur, which is, it speaks for itself. And we are trying to be very careful with our narrative, because we do not want in any way to incite violence or incite Nigerians. So the defendant will have an opportunity to cross-examine the witness come tomorrow, because the court has granted a celebrated hearing in the case, which means the matter will be taken from day to day, just to expedite the process and also ensure that all of these things come to an end, because this issue has lingered on for over 10
Celestina,
years.
Interesting.
In 2015.
Interesting you mentioned that, because I was going to say, look, it's good that now there is expedited hearing so that people do not lose track. But for those who have lost track of these particular cases, dragged on for a really long time, just in a minute or so, bring us up to speed on on all that has played out, what the trial is about, up to where we are now.
Okay, it started in 2015 when Mr. Kanu was arrested, and he was arrested by the DSS, put on trial, and along the process he was granted bail, and as at that time he was accused of basically terrorism as at that time, But along the line, he was granted bail, but the federal government said that he jumped bail. But Mr. Kanu, as at that time, put out a statement to say that he was fleeing for his life because his residence in Abia State was raided and he had to run. So in 2021, Mr. Kanu was rearrested. And we recall that that issue of his rearrest dragged up all to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court has said that he was extraordinary renditions to Nigeria, but that should not take away the fact that he should answer for the alleged crimes against him or the alleged offenses against him. So that brought us back from the 2015 to 2021 when he was rearrested. And the videos that were played in court today was the ones that Mr. Kanu allegedly broadcasted in 2020. So in 2021, he was arrested. He was brought back to Nigeria, has been in the custody of the DSS, and the issue had been before Justice Binta Anyanku. And at that court, we didn't record any progress of the case because they were from one application to another, from one order to another, to one interlocutory injunction to one.
All right, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You can see what is happening in the court. You can see how the Nigerian government are trying to propaganda everything that is happening between our leader Nnamdi Kanu. You can see the kind of games they are trying to play in the court to tell you how deadly the Nigerian government is. But the fact is that Nnamdi Kanu is still gingered. He is looking so happy, so strong. They think they can keep him in DSS custody to weaken him. But every day by day, our ancestors keep getting him stronger. He's telling them it's his right to agitate for the freedom of his people. We Biafrans need to understand this. This is the right time for us, the Biafrans, to come together and destroy these people. This is the best time for us, the Biafrans, to come together and make sure that we get liberated from the zoo called Nigeria. From the zoo called Nigeria. So I'll be sharing a lot on this broadcast so that you can understand how we, the Biafrans, will continue to fight. We will continue to fight to make sure that we get liberated from the zoo country called Nigeria. They know that the world is watching. So many world media is looking at the Nigerian zoo government to know what they will do with Nnamdi Kanu's case. They are tagging this man a terrorist. Go to North Central. You can see what Boko Haram is doing in North Central. Go to Jos. Just last 2 months or last month, close to 200 Christians were convicted and were neutralized in Jos by these so-called Fulani headsmen. Yet, a president of a country is here to come out and condemn these killings. A president of a country is here to come out and condemn the killings of these Fulani headsmen. But they can travel to Italy for Pope's burial. But you cannot go and visit your so-called state that close to 200 Christians were neutralized. You cannot go and visit them to tell you how this country has failed. These so-called Southeast governors that told us that they have been agitating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, where are they? You want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. You told us that you guys came together and you are going to go and meet the president for him to release Nnamdi Kanu. But none of you were present in the court. Currently now, we are in the Federal High Court. None of you are present in the court. But you are telling us that you are agitating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. You are using the release of Nnamdi Kanu for your own political gain. That is it. Soludo is using the release of Nnamdi Kanu for his own political gain. That is it. So let's not talk much. If you are just joining us now, you can check back our previous videos. Then you can understand why we, the Biafran channel, will continue to spread all this information. You can understand why we, the local channel, will continue to show you the legit information. Even the current war that is going on in Southeast, that is the war between the Biafra Defense Force and the Zoo Army of Nigeria. Even the current war going on now, we, the Intel TV News, all we do is to show you all these videos so that you can actually realize what is happening in Biafra land. So you can check back our previous videos. Do well to subscribe and react to all these videos on the comment section so that we as a Biafrans, one way or the other, we will find a very, very tangible way to help each other out. Because the Nigerian media, we keep sending you guys fake news regarding the release of Nnamdi Kanu and regarding our PM Simon Ekpa in Finland. They have said all sorts of fake news regarding their movement and regarding our agitation. So stay tuned. More news are coming. Stay tuned. Now listen to this important news I'm about to show you now to tell you how serious this court case is going. Now listen.
News to you, and of course bring it to your notice. So without further ado, I will be reading this very news from Vanguard News Nigeria, which happens to be one of the Zoo media platforms. And according to their title, they said, Court bars Nnamdi Kanu's sister-in-law from 3 proceedings for live streaming. So her crime was because she was live streaming the supposedly secret trial that allowed a masked witness to witness against Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man, that his only crime is because he said he wants to be free from the damnable Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. That he wants to be free. Him and his people want to be free and go back to whom we really are. Now, let us read. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday banished Favour Kanu, wife of Prince Fineboy Kanu, the younger brother of Nnamdi Kanu, for streaming the proceedings of the court live on her Facebook page. I'm going to search her Facebook page. I don't know her Facebook page, but I will look for it. I will use her name, Favour Kanu, to search for it to see if I can see the streamed video, the live streamed video. Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is being persecuted. Now let me use the right word if you don't know how to use it. Is being persecuted by the federal government of the zoo for alleged terrorism. Alleged terrorism that they couldn't prove. Their own witness, the federal government of the zoo's witness and DSS witnesses, said that when this same man, Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested, they could not see any incriminating object or any instrument of terrorism found on him. This was the confession of a DSS and federal government witness in the court. And they are still persecuting him, thinking that he's going to bend. Because the only thing they want him to do is to bend. Just to say, I am no longer interested. Biafra can go to hell. This is the only target of the DSS controlled by the Fulani, including their useless terrorist federal government. Now, Justice James Omotosho, who gave the order after Mrs. Kanu admitted engaging in the act and apologized to the court, held that she would have been charged for contempt of court. Imagine, a crime only in the zoo. You see, this is the reason, or one of the numerous reasons, why the Biafran people said we must leave the Zoological Republic. Must, capital M-U-S-T, must leave the zoo. Because in a case of this high level, in a case of this magnitude, should be broadcasted on national television ASAP. There is nothing else you can tell me. Even though that I'm not living in America, I know what civilization is all about. Even though I'm not in Britain, UK, I know what civilization is all about. Are you paying attention? So I don't have to be in America to know that the case of this magnitude should be live streamed and broadcasted on the national television, that the whole world may see how the proceedings are going. But in the zoo, where animals are kings, and you have the likes of jackals and lions who rule supreme, among others. In fact, others are their food, their meat, their meal, their food. Other animals are their food. Unbelievable. Their fellow wild animals are their own food. That is a zoo for you. Maybe zoo is even more better. We are talking about jungle. Nigeria is a jungle. Although Kanu's lawyer, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, also apologized on her behalf, Justice Omotosho insisted that Mrs. Kanu will be barred from 3 proceedings. The judge expressed surprise that despite that Mrs. Kanu's phone was confiscated on the last adjournment date when she was caught recording him, she still went ahead to post the video online. I want to hear from her. Were you not the one that I took your phone? Oh, the judge even took the phone of the wife of Prince Kanu. Wow. I did not give order to fulfill that phone. I don't know if she might be a wife to my brother Nnamdi Kanu. The judge said, wow. I'm going to say something here. Listen, my people. The judge, Justice James Omotosho, called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu my brother Nnamdi Kanu. There, right there in the courtroom. So, I'm going to analyze this in two different ways. Number one, it could be a relief to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that the judge serving the zoo, a Yoruba man, called him my brother. It could be a relief to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to all of us listening to the news right now. And in the other hand, it could be the devil's gift. Are you paying attention? I'm not going to explain that because it could be Okamusu on a ligi on Afugonu. Everybody should pay attention. I am just alleging. That's why I said I'm going to analyze it in two different ways, and I have done that without wasting any time. So maybe he's calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu my brother in order to carry out, the Fulani, I don't know. I'm just alleging, but I pray and hope that it is not the case. I hope and pray that it shouldn't be the case. If he's trying to pet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in order for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not to see him as another Binta Nyako, who is well-known corrupt judge, Binta Nyako, a highly corrupt judge, so that the final day he does whatever he wants to do, I don't know, but I hope and pray that this is not the case. Are you paying attention? I hope and pray that it is not the case, because the whole world is watching. I hope and believe that Justice James Omotosho is going to use this case to redeem his image, not only on the side of the Igbo people, but in the international community, because the whole world is aware of what transpired between Kopuz Odimma and Emeki Hedior. We all know, but we don't want to judge James Omotosho with that incident. Let us hope and believe that he wants to, or he's going to use this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to redeem his image in the international community, because this is the time for him to say, no, Fulani, you cannot use me again. Because this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has judged itself. When the DSS witnesses have said that they did not arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with any instrument of terrorism, and you're accusing him of terrorism, so what else are you talking about? The case is finished. By now, I think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be walking home freely as a free man. So, but of course, let us allow them to follow the court process and proceeding and see how it all going to end. So, please, Justice James Omotosho, we are counting on you. We are counting on you. Yoruba people and Igbo people have never been in any battle before. We have never ever have any physical confrontation against each other before. Yoruba have always been one of the best neighbors of Ndibo. We do our businesses in Lagos State and other parts of Yoruba land, pay our rent, do our things, pay our tithes, legally, respectfully, and otherwise. No matter some few disgruntled and misguided individuals who always come online on social media to incite Igbos against the Yorubas. But Yoruba people have always been the best friends of Ndibo in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Yes, oh yes, that is the truth. The same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the best friend, is still the best friend of Sunday Igboho till tomorrow. And Sunday Igboho is a man well respected in Yoruba land, especially within the Yoruba population, apart from the criminal politicians. So, Justice James Omotosho, it is the time for you to do the needful and allow justice to prevail. Please, let this brother that you call Nnamdi Kanu, which has given us, a sign of relief that you are not going to be biased in this case, let it be the case. Let the case be that you truly